What happens when a suburban Canadian city quietly transforms into a booming mini metropolis of South Asian culture, commerce and identity? In the next few minutes we're going deep, from rural farmland to tech hubs, from Punjabi gurdwaras to Indian food corridors, from one-time quiet Canadian suburb to what many now call Canada's Bangalore. This is Brampton, but it's becoming something much more. Stay tuned, because the truth about migration, identity and what Canada is becoming will shock you more than you think. And we'll also ask, is this transformation rewriting what it means to belong here? Is Canada still the same country it was 10 years ago? Let's go. Chapter 1. Origins. From farmland to mosaic. Brampton's story begins long before skyscrapers and traffic jams. Half a century ago, this patch of Ontario was quiet farmland dotted with apple orchards and red brick farmhouses. In the 1950s, its population hovered around 25,000 people, mostly working-class Canadians who commuted into Toronto's growing industrial belt. Then came Canada's Immigration Act of 1967, opening the door to skilled workers from Asia, Africa and the Caribbean. A trickle of South Asian families arrived, drawn by jobs in factories and municipal services. By the 1980s, Brampton's population had exploded past 150,000. Each decade brought new layers: Italians and Portuguese builders, Caribbean nurses, then Indian and Pakistani engineers. By 1996, Brampton was Canada's fastest-growing city. Census records show the visible minority population jumping from under 5% in 1971 to over 70% by 2021. The transformation was quiet but massive. Houses once sold for $80,000 in the 1990s now command $900,000 or more. Old strip malls gave way to plazas with Bollywood cinemas and sweet shops. Where one church stood, 5 gurdwaras and 2 Hindu temples rose. Canada had always called itself a mosaic. Brampton became the proof. A living experiment in what a multicultural nation looks like when one culture arrives in force. It wasn't a takeover, but a test of identity. Could the old and the new coexist without colliding? By the early 2000s, the answer was already visible on the streets. Every corner store sign in Punjabi, every billboard with Hindi movie posters, every wedding venue booked months in advance for South Asian celebrations, a city reborn in color and sound. Yet underneath the vibrancy lay questions. Would Brampton remain a part of Canada or become something else entirely? Was this integration or isolation by comfort? Those questions set the stage for everything to come. Chapter 2. The Surge. Indian migration in motion. From 2010 onward, Canada saw an immigration boom unlike any in its history. India surged to the top as the leading source country. By 2024, more than 40% of all new permanent residents were from India. Brampton became their landing pad. It offered family ties, affordable homes compared to Toronto, and a ready-made community. International students arriving at Pearson Airport boarded buses straight to Brampton basements advertised on WhatsApp and Facebook Marketplace. The city's South Asian population passed 350,000 by the mid-2020s, nearly 3/4 of its residents. Punjabi became the second most spoken language after English. Taxi drivers, doctors, accountants, software engineers, most shared a story of starting fresh with a student visa or work permit. Behind the statistics lay human stories. Young graduates from Delhi Tech or Bangalore arriving with $20,000 in savings and big dreams. Parents back home sending money for tuition. Families reuniting after years of long-distance paperwork. The economic pull was real. Canadian tech companies needed IT talent. Logistics firms needed drivers. Healthcare needed nurses. India's educated middle class answered the call. By 2025, over 1.6 million Indians lived in Canada, a tenfold increase since the 1990s. Many settled in the 905 area code, anchored by Brampton. This wasn't temporary. It was a demographic re-engineering of the region. With growth came challenges: rising rent, gridlocked roads, overcrowded schools. Local officials scrambled to expand transit and housing. And long-time Canadians asked a new question: was this still their city? Chapter 3. Culture and Faith. New temples, new rhythms. Drive through Brampton today and you hear the rhythm of a continent. Morning kirtan flows from gurdwaras the size of football fields. Shoppers line up for samosas and jalebi before heading to mandirs or mosques. Billboards advertise Diwali concerts and Punjabi movie premieres. The city hosts over 80 major faith institutions: Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jain and Buddhist. Religious festivals fill the calendar: Eid, Vaisakhi, Navratri, Good Friday. Each draws tens of thousands, turning industrial parking lots into open-air celebrations. Food is another marker. You can walk from a Punjabi dhaba to a South Indian dosa house to a Caribbean roti shop without crossing the street. Grocers import spices from Kerala, lentils from Punjab, and mangoes from Gujarat. Cultural identity in Brampton is not just preserved, it's scaled. Dance academies, music schools, Bollywood production companies have flourished. Local radio stations broadcast in Hindi and Punjabi 24/7. Faith communities also step into social roles. Food banks run from temples, blood drives from mosques, and housing help from churches. They fill gaps government services can't. Yet there is debate. Some say Brampton is a beacon of inclusion. Others fear self-segregation, a city of bubbles where cultures rarely mix. Walk into some schools and you hear hardly any English spoken in the hallways. The question is whether multiculturalism is melting into something new, a shared identity where heritage and citizenship blend without erasing each other. Chapter 4. Economy. The business of becoming Bangalore. Economically, Brampton has evolved from a bedroom suburb to a powerhouse. The city's GDP now exceeds $25 billion, driven by logistics, manufacturing and technology. South Asian entrepreneurs own roughly 40% of small businesses in the city, from trucking fleets to law firms to IT consultancies. Names once seen on storefronts in Delhi or Chandigarh now glow on Brampton plazas. The education sector feeds this engine. Sheridan College's Brampton campus draws tens of thousands of international students each year, mostly from India. They work part-time in warehouses and restaurants to pay tuition, fueling the local economy even as they struggle with rent. Real estate has boomed beyond imagination. A detached home that sold for $250,000 in 2005 can fetch over $1 million today. Developers rush to build condos and townhomes, yet supply never catches up with demand. Many families of 6 or more share one house to survive. Remittances flow both ways: money sent home to India to support relatives, and investments coming back into Canadian property from Indian business people. The two economies are now entwined. Critics warn of overheating. Transit lags behind growth. Industrial parks struggle with traffic. The city's budget can't keep pace with infrastructure needs. Still, for many immigrants, Brampton is a success story, a place where hard work pays off, where you can start a business, buy a home, raise kids who become engineers and doctors. It's why they call it the Bangalore of the North. Chapter 5. Identity and Politics. What Canada means now. The rise of Brampton as a South Asian hub has reshaped politics. Candidates campaign in Punjabi, Hindi and Urdu. Local councils reflect the city's diversity. Issues like transit funding, housing and international student rights dominate debates. Civic participation is high. Community groups mobilize voters around faith and language networks. For the first time, Canadian parties treat Brampton as a bellwether. Win here, and you signal future electoral trends nationwide. Yet beneath the politics lies the deeper question of identity. Second-generation Canadians born in Brampton navigate dual realities. At home, they speak Punjabi. At work, they code in Python. They watch both Cricket World Cup and the Stanley Cup. Some say they feel Canadian with Indian values. Others say they're simply global citizens. What's clear is that the definition of being Canadian is stretching. More inclusive, yet less certain. There are tensions. Reports of gang violence, fraud rings, and immigration scams feed negative stereotypes. At the same time, Brampton produces top students, athletes, and business leaders who shatter those stereotypes daily. Economically, the city still struggles with a high commuter rate. Over 60% of residents work outside the city. That disconnect adds to the feeling that Brampton is a launch pad rather than a destination. But politically and socially, its influence is undeniable. What happens here today, in schools, mosques, temples, and council halls, is a preview of Canada tomorrow. Chapter 6. Future. Growth, integration, and tensions. Ahead. So what comes next for Brampton? Demographers project the city will surpass 1 million residents before 2035. More than 80% will be visible minorities, predominantly South Asian. The city plans light rail expansions and housing corridors to handle growth, but funding lags behind population. If current trends continue, Brampton will be one of the youngest, most multicultural urban centers in North America. Integration remains the key challenge. Will second-generation kids move beyond ethnic lines or deepen them? Can the city foster shared spaces where cultures intersect, parks, schools, arts centers that belong to everyone? Economically, the rise of remote work could help Brampton shed its commuter label. Tech companies are already setting up satellite offices. Logistics hubs along Highway 410 anchor Canada's supply chain. Socially, the conversation is turning to inclusion rather than assimilation. A generation of youth is mixing cultures through music, fashion, and entrepreneurship, blending drums and dhol, hoodies and kurta, rap and bhangra. Still, some Canadians worry the pace of change is too fast. They see rising housing costs, longer healthcare lines, and cultural barriers as signs that multiculturalism needs a reset. Others argue Brampton proves Canada's diversity works. It creates jobs, growth, and new global connections. In truth, both are right. The transformation of Brampton into Canada's Bangalore is neither victory nor loss. It's evolution, the story of a country redefining itself in real time. When the dust settles, Brampton may stand as the prototype for the next century of Canadian urban life. Dynamic, crowded, diverse, and unapologetically global. If this story resonated, smash that like button. Leave a comment telling us whether you see Canada changing in your city, and subscribe for more episodes. Don't forget to hit the so you won't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.